We meet a powerful Latina who's placing her stamp in New Jersey through her service in key leadership positions, and we discuss the economic development niche in Cumberland County. It's all here on the next Latino Motion. Join us.
Choose quality, value, distinction. Choose Stockton.
Latino Motion with Bert Lopez is presented by Latino Motion Public Affairs Media, a New Jersey nonprofit corporation, and Stockton University. This edition of Latino Motion with Bert Lopez is brought to you by the HD Studios at the campus of Stockton University. Funding for Latino Motion is provided by Atlanticare, healthcare you can believe in. Atlantic City Electric, energy for a changing world. And South Jersey Gas. Welcome to Latino Motion, a weekly interview show highlighting issues impacting New Jersey's Latino community while advancing understanding of Latino cultural heritage and contributions to our society. And here is your host, Bert Lopez.
Buenos dias and welcome to Latino Motion. I'm happy to feature a Latina with local roots who has had a number of key leadership positions throughout the state and is having a coming home of sorts as she's back in the area as a board member of Stockton University. Neldida Valentin, it's a great pleasure to have you here on Latino Motion.
Thank you so much, Bert. It's wonderful to be here with you.
And I know we go way back.
We do.
During the Hispanic Alliance days, and you've held so many key roles in the state. And right now you're the vice president of the Princeton area community fund. Tell me a little bit about that. It's foundation.
Yeah, correct. Yes, I'm serving as the vice president of grants and programs at the Princeton Area Community Foundation. I've just made my year anniversary, so I'm really excited about that. It brings me back towards the Central Jersey area. And I'm happy, I'm very thrilled to be at the Community Foundation. Community foundations are a very interesting philanthropy in the sense that we really focus in on operationalizing the word community. So we really work to promote community philanthropy. In the case of the Princeton Area Community Foundation, we call it the Community Foundation. We work with not just grant making, providing grants to nonprofit organizations to serve low-income families and children in our region. And our region is sort of encapsulated in the Mercer County and outskirts. So we cover parts of northern Pennsylvania, we cover parts of southern Middlesex, we cover parts of northern Burlington. And so it's in essence the Princeton area that becomes kind of our territory.
Community foundations basically are matchmaker, right, between folks who have the money to provide services and also the service providers. So you're trying to make that link?
Well, we're actually organizations, community organizations that promote philanthropy. And so there are various buckets of business for us as a community foundation. One is that we work with families. We have over 400 family funds. Wow. Okay. And these are philanthropists in their own right. You know, there are families or individuals who are committed in providing philanthropy and funding various causes or funding in the region, although they could actually send dollars across the world, really. So we're always doing lots of different things where we may be sending dollars out. We try to do a lot of education with our funders and really have them understand, you know, the focus of our region. Since they are residents of our region, we try to provide a lot of information about how they build their assets, and we help them understand the nonprofits that serve families and children in our region. So that's one piece of our work. But we also do our own grant making.
So how do you link with the local organization, the nonprofit organizations that are in the community? How do you link with them?
Well, we have in our region, all of the nonprofits that serve low-income families and children are eligible to apply to our grants. We have our own discretionary dollars. So we have about a portfolio of 160 million. That's kind of where our assets live.
Actually, one of the bigger community foundations.
So, yes, there's only 3 community foundations in the state of New Jersey altogether. But we have the blessing, really, to be able to provide our own discretionary dollars. We own about 1/3 of our assets in the case of the Princeton Area Community Foundation. The other proportion is working with funders and philanthropists, our family funds. And we really help them serve their mission. So we help them understand who the nonprofits are. They come to us when they need to understand, what programs are provided by the nonprofits. We work with the nonprofits as well. We have a number of nonprofit funders. We actually help nonprofits settle their own funds and actually set up endowment funds and keep their own funds within the community foundation, and we include those in our asset base as well.
So if you have a nonprofit and you think that you serve the community in certain ways that a local foundation such as yours is able to support, it's good to contact you and try to find more information about it so that maybe you could be part of that
Absolutely, absolutely. Anyone who wants to set a fund, you don't have to live in our region to establish a fund, but we also serve nonprofits, and so we have many nonprofits who have funds within the community foundation, and we manage their portfolio. It's really a very effective way for nonprofit organizations to really diversify their portfolio, and many of our nonprofit organizations actually have these funds within building an endowment, or they use it as their sort of fund for supporting, since their dollars, grant dollars may come and go, they actually use some of their funds to help round out their budgets. And so it's a really wide berth for them and a way for them to save dollars and also invest in their organization through the community foundation, taking advantage of our ability to increase assets and sort of manage a financial portfolio.
We do want to talk a lot about all the other hats you have worn, because you have been truly a remarkable leader in the state, and you also happen to be on the board here at Stockton University, and the only Latina serving on the board. We do want to talk a little bit about that. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back with more Latino Motion.
Latino Motion with Bert Lopez is presented by Latino Motion Public Affairs Media, a New Jersey nonprofit corporation. Join us online at www.latinomotion.tv. Find us on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. We encourage your comments and contributions for show topics.
Welcome back to Latino Motion. We'll continue our discussion with Nelida Valentin and discuss some of her leadership contributions in New Jersey, many contributions that you've done. And we just learned about the role you play with the Princeton Area Community Foundation and the important work that you do through that organization. You've also held quite a number of other hats, and want to talk about the one that you also currently have, which is that of a board member at Stockton University. How important is it to have Latino representation on the Stockton board?
Well, Bert, I have to say that I'm absolutely proud to serve as a trustee at Stockton University. It's my alma mater. It's where I graduated. I got my bachelor's here. I was a Caesars Scholar also when I was here at Stockton, and I'd hate to say how many years ago that was. It's unbelievable that this many years have passed by, and I have to say that one of my proudest moments, I think, that make it so much of an important thing for me to serve on the Stockton board is that I was also an EOF student. The Educational Opportunity Fund program is how I came to campus. It brought a lot of Latino and students of color onto campus, gave us an opportunity really to pursue our college degree. And so I've grown my academic career here at Stockton. I moved on to get my master's, and it's almost like coming 360 full circle to be able to serve on the Stockton board as an alumni as well.
We're certainly glad to have you back here in South Jersey, and particularly in that type of leadership role. Let's talk about some of the other leadership roles you've held. I know you were involved with the Hispanic Affairs at one point. Tell me a little bit about some of those roles.
Well, actually, I started in state government. I served about 23 years in state government, and I started in the Office of Hispanic Affairs. Okay. I really always wanted to do work serving the Latino community, and so I was very fortunate. It was a real blessing that I ended up at the Office of Hispanic Affairs and serving the office. Then we were able to fund nonprofit community-based organizations across the state.
Yeah, almost some similar to what you do with the Princeton Area Foundation.
Yes, we actually provided grants to nonprofit organizations to serve Latino communities across the state. And it was really a proud moment for me because I was able to work with many executive directors across from very northern Jersey to very southern Jersey. And I have wonderful friends that are still in Atlantic County, as well as Cape May and Salem, and also all of the Central Jersey nonprofit organizations that serve Latino communities. And of course, northern Jersey, people like La Casa de Don Pedro, which is, where I ended up running a Hispanic Leadership Opportunity Program there. So it's...
Talking about Hispanic leadership programs, you've also run a similar program with Thomas Edison University. Tell me a little bit about that role.
Yeah, my whole career has been service in Latino community, state government service, human services, and leadership development. It's kind of been my interest, my passion across. And I had an opportunity to really start a civic leadership program at Thomas Edison State University now, called the Leadership Trenton, and it was really modeled. It was modeled against Leadership New Jersey, which is really a program to build civic leadership in the state for the state. And very similarly, the Trenton program was creating a whole leadership core of professionals in all sectors: business, nonprofit, education, coming together to serve Trenton, to really serve the capital city. And we graduated about 4 different cohorts of classes. My proudest moment is when we were able to bring 3 alumni classes together who started to talk about how they loved film. Oh, nice. And so there was a film producer, there was a business person, and there was also a publisher. And as they started to talk about how they loved film, they thought, why don't we create a Trenton Film Society? Oh, nice. And from there started the idea, and it's still moving today. They still run the Trenton Film Series, the Trenton Film Society, and they do wonderful work. But it is really a way to engage people to the work of a community, to bring leaders together to talk about what the challenges are, what the opportunities are, and how they can bring really their assets and expertise and talent to the table.
That really is the reward, isn't it?
It is.
To have and see that success.
Yes, and to have it move beyond what you develop. My job at the Office of Hispanic Affairs. Also, when I came back to state government, I came back to the Office of Hispanic Affairs, which was then the Center for Hispanic Policy, and we created an internship program for Latino college students. Great. So we provided grants to a northern, a central, and a southern Jersey college. We worked with Latino professionals in each of those universities, and we recruited Latino students as a way to introduce them to careers in public service. And I have to say, over the years, even beyond my time at the Office of Hispanic Affairs, many students went through that internship program and became professionals on their own.
And I know you've been a champion for diversity and for equal rights, and you've also worked with the Department of Transportation in those areas as well.
Yeah, that was the Division of Civil Rights at the New Jersey Department of Transportation.
Tell me a little bit about what message you give to other Latinos, other Latinas that are looking to find a way to contribute to the community.
Well, I think our voice is absolutely critical in the mix of voices in the state. I'm a leadership buff. I love leadership development, and so my career has entailed lots of leadership type of programming, and I think that the voice of Latinos, the expertise that we bring to the table, not to mention our language abilities, the experience of serving in our communities, our experience as Latinos in our community, are a really important ingredient to contribute to the table. And so I think we need to keep focused on making sure that we bring those voices, that we contribute, that we engage, and that we talk about these experiences and also serve as role models for young people, which is why I love being on the Stockton board. I feel like it's it's an opportunity to really help students see that it's possible for them as well.
Oh, thank you so much. That was a perfect message to end this segment. Thank you for all you do in the leadership here in New Jersey. And please stay tuned. We'll be right back with more Latino Motion.
Latino Motion with Bert Lopez is presented by Latino Motion Public Affairs Media, a New Jersey nonprofit corporation. Join us online at www.latinomotion.tv. Find us on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. We encourage your comments and contributions for show topics.
Welcome back to Latino Motion. In South Jersey, you might think the focus of economic development is all in Atlantic City and Camden, but Cumberland County is competing right there with the best of them to retain and attract economic development to South Jersey. Joining me is Jim Watson, who spearheads the county's efforts. Jim, welcome to Latino Motion.
Thank you very much for having me, Bert.
So you got some big shoes to fill here, competing with the likes of Atlantic City and Camden. What is Cumberland County doing differently?
Well, Bert, Camden, Atlantic City, and any of the counties, honestly, all have their niche. There's a niche within Camden County that many folks are flowing there. Grow New Jersey certainly is helping that, as well as with Atlantic City, which certainly needed it as well. Cumberland County has a real niche, and as you know, we have a very active Economic Development Board, which you happen to be the chair of, doing a great job.
What a coincidence.
Yeah, it's an amazing thing. And we just completed, we're going to vote on it, adoption this next month at our next meeting, is our strategic plan. And that really began to outline things we already know, that we really have a niche within the manufacturing core sector as well as the food processing sector. And that really is because we are an agriculturally based county, different than the other two counties you mentioned. We have 65,000 acres of farmland. We have 85,000 acres out in the bay that they farm for the bay shore, for clamming, for oysters, and on crabs and all of that. So we're really a food processing manufacturing, less than a 295 turnpike corridor logistics over there in a Gloucester, Camden, Burlington. We're really manufacturing, which is great for us because we have a great workforce that's been here around for 60 years through the glass manufacturing, now into also food processing.
You have a company like Progresso who closed down, but you also have others that are coming on board.
We do. We have, and almost all of those folks through our workforce development, which you also chair the WIB. Workforce development has been very active in getting those folks from Progresso jobs, bringing them into these other companies. I've talked with many food processors that we have that have hired many of those folks in. So we've already, probably within the next month, you'll hear that we have a company that is going to take over the Progresso site.
Nice,
so we have growing companies. They continue to expand and employ new workers. Tyson has just come in to Cumberland County. Corning Glass has just bought in to Cumberland County. So we're not only growing, but we're getting the eye of national and international companies.
Yeah, let's talk about that. The fact that you are reaching beyond just the United States, you're also going overseas to try to get some businesses to relocate here to Cumberland County.
Exactly right. And a couple of groups that are helping us do that. One, you have Lou Cooper House at the Food Innovation Center, Rutgers Food Innovation Center in Bridgeton, and also the marketing arm for the state of New Jersey, Choose New Jersey. We kind of piggybacked with Choose New Jersey, went down to Washington, D.C. this last month, and are working with companies now, also Fancy Food Show in New York at the Javits Center this last month. And because of those two shows, we had meetings with about 20 companies, and we have 10 right now, food processors from Turkey, Italy, Switzerland, Greece, that we're working with to bring them in. So
now you've even had some interest in South America, correct?
We do, yep. We had companies that came into the Food Innovation Center and visited from South America a couple of years ago. And we have a Colombian company that's working in there right now, and we're working with them to expand their business.
Now you mentioned Food Innovation Center. Just give us a little highlight. What is the Food Innovation Center?
Rutgers Food Innovation Center is really, we kind of see it as more of an apartment type of where a company can come in and they'll help them in the back office, they'll help them in the marketing, they'll help them with the development of their processes, of the taste of their food, of repackaging. They'll help an international company. It's really the only soft landing food processing food incubation area in the whole world, where a food processor can come in and work on those things, work on marketing their product, and work on some of the scaling of their product, but only for a little while. You can't lease space there for a year, 2 years, 3 years. We're now, the CCIA is building, and we're going out to bid in a couple of months, is building a food specialization center, 30,000 square feet behind the Innovation Center. That specialization center will be more like a condo unit where you can come in and lease 1,200 square feet to 10,000 square feet.
Right.
And we'll have refrigeration, freezing, blast freezing, a warehouse, all of that, of what a company is going to need so they can scale their product, meet sales, begin to produce their product, and as they do well and grow, then we can help them stay in Cumberland County and build them a building.
It's a good bridge to
It's
certainly.
fantastic. It's a great synergy.
And you do have a website, and obviously we're getting that out here in the U.S., but also internationally as well.
We are. It's been phenomenal. CumberlandYes.com. It's been great.
Great. Well, Jim, thank you for sharing that information with our audience, and thank you once again for joining us here on Latino Motion.
Choose quality, value, distinction. Choose Stockton.
Funding for Latino Motion is provided by Atlanticare, healthcare you can believe in. Atlantic City Electric, energy for a changing world. And South Jersey Gas.